Hello, investors. This is Connor Bates, Associate Portfolio Manager with Revere Asset Management. Today is Wednesday, April 29th, 4:36 p.m. Eastern Time. Come to tonight's Revere Roundup Daily Market Insight video. Market state, we are in an uptrend. And if you take a look at the trend gauge over here, we had the four coveted green arrows, market leaders in grow mode, short term trending above the 21 EMA, above the 50 SMA, and above the long-term 200 SMA. What happened today? Pretty action-packed day. We had the FOMC meeting. Powell left rates unchanged, and then we had a huge batch of big tech earnings after the bell today, and we'll cover those when we get into the charts. But we had Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, Google, Qualcomm, all reporting. So we'll check out how they're acting when we get into the charts. 21 over 21 list up 0.63% on the day, 10 green, 1 neutral, 10 red, Turbo 12 up 1.3%, 8 green, 4 red, Mag 7 down 0.42%, RG8 down about a half percent, S&P flat on the day, Equal 8 down 0.17%, Qs up 0.61%, Equal 8 up 0.82%, Dow Jones Industrial Average down 0.56%, mid caps down 0.73%, Russell 2000 down 0.67%, 60/40 stock and bond down 0.36%, GROTECTION down 0.32%, TurboTection up 0.57% on the day. And let's get into the inter-asset correlation and S&P 500. Very good look here. First multi-day consolidation flag after this big move up off the lows, holding above the 8 EMA. This one looks really good for a breakout. And again, if tomorrow the follow through on these big tech name earnings are good, that could be the catalyst to trigger this out of this flag. RSP relative weakness continues, but form the handle here in this cup and base. Qs looking fantastic as well. Mini continuation flag off the 8 EMA. As long as it holds above this base high, looks like it's in great shape. Mag 7 currently down after hours, but again, this is a pretty constructive looking flag we got forming here. See if this can break out. Dow Jones Industrial Average. See if this can crack this downtrend line. Little flag here, closing below the 8 EMA today. Mid caps broke out of the space, now coming back in, sitting at the 21 EMA. See if this can round back out. Russ 2000 as well, looking like a potential base breakout retest of this, 2735 left side high. See if this can U-turn back up. ARC below the 200-day. FFTY, VIX up slightly today, but still below that 20 dollar. Like we mentioned, big range here, just, gonna chop in here. This 100's kind of the upside trigger, whereas for a breakdown, 96 area. Gold, we talked about this rising wedge confirming lower weakness, same with GDX. Silver, same look, all the metals. Bitcoin, kind of retesting this potential stage one base breakout zone, but has been a laggard. Bonds breaking lower, TLT breaking lower this wedge. And what does that coincide? Pretty big move here in rates. So this is something to watch out for. See the TNX and the TYX. So keep these on watch. These can continue higher. Could affect some, small caps, regional banks, home builders like we saw today. All right, tell the tape. Despite the indexes holding up these moves, the percent of stocks with a 5 day is pretty low. It's a pretty good setup. So see, you just have more confidence getting long when this is lower versus higher. Let's see. Today's keys, S&P above the 8 EMA, same with the Qs. Russell failing at the 8 EMA, but above the 21 EMA, and then the ATR, the S&P 500 continues to contract down to 1.29%. Going to be watching the same stuff heading into tomorrow. Sectors wise, crude oil was really strong today. At 10 about hit 108.49 at the highest today, up 8%. That's something to watch out for. Rare earth metals, nice day. Energy and then semiconductors continue to be strong. Then weakness, home builders, space, biotech, software, regional banks, and uranium. GROTECTION today sold Teradyne and Planet Labs 1.25 RVAB, estimated balance at risk minus 4.60%. TurboTaction, we sold Lunar ONDS and Teradyne 1.45 RVAB, estimated balance at risk minus 4.61%. Bottom line, Powell holds rates unchanged, plus big tech earnings on deck. What is the reaction going to be? All right, let's take a look. There was a lot today, especially with earnings. So we'll start out with Teradyne. Um, this was sold in both GROTECTION and TurboTaction, and again, just nasty reaction, down 19% on the day on heavy volume. Gave it a chance to try to bounce, but it was unable to. And if you recall, this was still a green trade for Turbo. We were long about a 180, 190 cost basis, had trimmed it and was just trying this 50-day moving average. And you can see just unfortunate reaction on earnings. It happens. They're not all going to go your way, but that's why it's important to position size accordingly and know if you have cushion. So again, it was profit volatility. So we sold that in both portfolios. GROTECTION sold Planet Labs, just some of the space stocks showing relative weakness. And then we sold ONDS and Turbo. Just had this launch pad set up, tried to go and failed. And then also Lunar did put in a pretty big hammer today, but space has been rather weak, and we still own Rocket Lab in the portfolio. Put a hammer here today, closed right around the 21 EMA, filled this gap as well. So see if this maybe can start to get some legs. Space has been lagging for a bit. Alrighty, let's get into the 21 over 21 list. And so again, you're not always going to get them all right, but BE is one that we did, up 27% today on earnings, closing at the highs, really good action. Credo up 6, tested the space high and putting a nice hammer there today. CLS, gap down on earnings and then coming back today. That's what you would like to see. Micron continues to trend above the 8 EMA after breaking out of the space. DOCN, major RS and edge computing theme when you look at it versus, Fastly and Akamai. This one's at the highs. Marvell, again, very shallow pullback. It was 12, 13 ATR above the 50-day. Pulled back to the 8 EMA, rounding back out. That's what you want to see. Keys continues to trend nicely. Airbnb, nice gap down reversal off the 21 EMA today. VRT getting super tight here at the 21 day. Sienna consolidating, taking a little breather of it after a nice move this year. Kava holding the 21 but rejecting the 8 EMA. Dell just tight at the highs, not giving much back after a super strong move. PWR continues to flag at the highs, little consolidation there. MP failing at the 200 day. Caterpillar, good action as long as this holds above this 789 pivot. CCJ looked like it was emerging out, but coming back into the 50-day. GEV, solid action post earnings. XPO sitting right at the 21 day. Planet Labs, we covered that one. Irene, we were watching this downtrend line break, kind of just failing back in, coming into this launch pad of moving average to see if it can hold. Teradyne, the big loser on the day. Take a look at Turbo 12. AOI is looking fantastic. This is a really nice looking flag that it's forming here. See if this one can continue, definitely leading the optics space today. AMPX, this is owned in Turbo, broke out, retest. This one looks good to continue higher. TSEM, interesting one, also getting super tight right here at the 21 EMA. Qnity holding above this base high on this breakout. ALB super tight here. Yeah, this one looks good. And like I highlighted, REMX has been strong. So lines acting up. And so, yeah, so this one looks good. See if this can get a wedge pop here tomorrow. ARM finding support at the 8 EMA. And again, these stocks had some huge moves, and it was normal to see them take a breather, and that's what we're seeing. But they are holding 8 EMA, the short term, and the 21 EMA, so that's good. And again, holding winners, you're going to have to stomach some profit volatility. That's just part of the game. If you want to hold for a big move, the pullback is always going to come, and you're just going to have to sit through it based on your rules, what your position sizing is, what you're trailing with. But again, that's just part of the game in growth stock investing. Lunar covered that one. FRO, this one's getting super tight here, just consolidating right under this downtrend line. We got stopped on this one in Turbo, but this one might start to retry another breakout. Then GLW, another earnings that we've had this week that took a hit, but still holding 50-day, so still in this one, trimmed it into earnings to a size that we are willing to hold. Gap down, but like how it's acting so far, this 50 days a must hold spot. Modine failed breakout for now. SOLS, we cut this as well, but maybe this one needs just to base a little bit longer. Iron, and that is the Turbo 12. Let's take a look at what these big tech names are doing after hours. Microsoft currently down to 2%. So, this one's still below the 200-day moving average. Amazon has been acting well, down a 1.8%. Again, not bad at all. Meta down 6%. Look where it paused, right at the 200-day moving average. Google up 6.5%. So this is the leader. But Qualcomm's having a huge move, up 10% after hours, back above the 200-day moving average. That's good action there. KLAC, this one's getting hit, down 10%. And then Viavi, this is another one, up 15%. Again, these optics names continue to just be so strong. So good action there. And then just some other notable earnings from last night and this morning. SEMO up 45% on huge volume. That's quite an earnings move. Let's see. Generac, this was another one, up 17% today on earnings. RS line new highs. See if this one can continue. Seagate, bit of an ugly close, but still closed they up 11% on earnings. And then just take a look at USO. This is something to watch, up 8% today, breaking out, crude oil hanging out at the highs isn't good. But again, the market, closed flat, tech was up, so not too much of an issue for now. Let's see. Other names. NBIS got some late volume in the day. This one's trying to reclaim the 21 and the space high. And then CoreWeave in the infrastructure names, nice bounce here off the 21, showing relative strength versus, Cypher, Iron. So that's another one to watch. But all in all, MXL, this is another one. This one, you know, wasn't trades a little bit thin, but since this earnings gap, this one gapped up huge on earnings, a little 2-day pullback and up another 30% today. That's a pretty big move. This one's showing a ton of power. And SanDisk, the memory names continue to be strong, trending up the right side. And then we got some more earnings tomorrow, Western Digital, Apple. So again, never a dull moment. So that is going to wrap it. As always, I'd like to hear from you. My email is connor@revereasset.com. You can reach out to me on Twitter at ConnorJBates_. Phone is 855 Real Wealth, 855-732-5932. If you're ever interested in becoming a client, as always, please reach out. Thank you guys for watching and have an awesome night.